lot of those kind of like lane-to-lane shows. Two of the main hard points that you'll see are in runes, and one in the kind of like the tunnel and the forest side. And those are both middle map hard points. It's kind of like what I said earlier. Even though they're middle map hard points, they're still very scoreable. So that's one thing we're going to see as the map goes on. And it actually starts on one of those hard points as it's in kind of like in that tunnel side.
All right, well, let's kick things off with Zero here in the hard point. Remember, last hard point, it was what, 50-0 start, something like that.
Yep.
And if you look at the scoreboard, it looks to be a similar beginning here. Now, I know that Michael Condry said he was going to coach the Visca Barca side. I don't see him. I believe he was probably a little too embarrassed to do that. But let's we looked at Skycam a good bit there in CTF. We'll show it off a bit here as well. As you can see the hard point here to the right. Sky camera from the top POV. Tommy encouraged trying to break in, attaches the one soaking up time to the right in the hard point. Let's go to attaches POV now. We'll hop over to him as he's the one holding here, trying to get in prime position, rack up some time for his team, who started in a hole again.
And I was going to say that the key thing here for me is rotation straight away. You know, attach, getting that scrap points, but he's going to now have to rotate round. It looked like to me, Team Courage, they were that team that were a little bit smarter. They, you know, tracked back when they needed to, and now we see them set up. Obviously, Tommy and JCap, those two veteran players of all 8, really. I think they're very comfortable with what they're doing right now.
I think it's just a communication level. We're sitting pretty close to Visca's team, and they're not really talking as much as Courage's team is. So, I mean, that plays a huge role in rotating and making maneuvers as a team. And that's something that, like you said, we saw. Like, I think Team Courage gave up with like 20 seconds left on the middle hard point. Something you would see like in the past where like both teams are still playing for scrap in the middle. They're like, we understand we can score points in the next hill. Let's move there fast.
Well, Team Courage started to take over yet again. You saw the beginning there from the Sky camera, kind of that opening hold as they were able to deal with the push from Team Visca. And you can see, I mean, you only got, what was it, 2 or 3 kind of cracks at the hard point from Team Visca. And I know this isn't the biggest map, but the difference in maneuverability and speed certainly plays a big difference in that.
And also one thing that plays into this map specifically for this example is that the next hard point kind of goes to your top left side of the mini-map. It goes in a bunker. So as that last hard point on the rune side, both teams are kind of flowing through that left side lane, the bottom side lane. It's really important to have the right side at the end of that hard point. Controlling anchor, the anchor for that rune hill is basically close to the same anchor for the bunker hill. So if you're controlling that, you really have to make sure that you keep it. And if you're the other team that's not getting that time on runes, you have to be able to rotate really, really early and make sure you don't give up that extra time on the next hill.
And that was what Team Visca did there. They got those back spawns and obviously anchoring, you know, to kind of dumb it down. Some people may not know, but, you know, just getting behind that hard point, getting those spawns for your team and making sure you're getting the better spawn. You're spawning closer to that hard point every single time. And it's actually nice to see Team Visca. They're learning, they're adapting, and maybe this is where they can start the comeback. Of course, 3 maps down. They need to not go down embarrassingly.
Well,
but,
they can't win this anymore if it was a best of 5. But maybe for pride, at least get a map.
Yeah, I think they'll push right here.
They may have lost all of their pride at this point. And
don't get 5-0'd by Courage.
Yeah, that's rough.
I'm not looking forward to his tweets after this. I'll tell you that much.
He's actually started very well again. 8 and 5 for Courage.
Disgusting.
We should hop on more with Courage. I think we should watch him a little bit.
Let's
see how well he's shooting.
Show him some love.
See what he's doing.
And I think also something I'd like to point out is that we're seeing a pretty good diversity in weapon play already. We don't have a limited option of weapons, but you're still seeing a few. You've seen PPSH, you've seen a Type 100, you've seen the SCG. We haven't seen much of the M1 Grand, which is one of the weapons I feel like is a very strong choice in our game as well, but is a little more difficult once you're not really in the right positions. As we've seen before, it's semi-automatic weapons. So, it's going to be awesome to watch this year. Diversity between divisions and weapon play.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're going to see a lot of different phases of meta. Kind of what Momo was saying earlier, how at the start of a game you'll see probably something redundant, but as it goes on, you'll see different players experimenting and seeing what things work and don't work for them.
Should be awesome. And Zero really on a hot streak. He had, I think, a 7 streak earlier, 3 in a row now. The 4th just tacked on and challenging the 5th.
Ooh, big 2-piece.
Nice shots there from Zero, and that secures the hard point, right? He's almost in a 1v2 there as they're transitioning over. Wisely backs down and plays his life. Some big plays here, and a big reason why Team Visca is now taking a lead in this game, which they have not been able to say really throughout the past hour.
Yeah, that's true. They're actually winning.
Prime example there as well, you know, using the Molotovs, you know, something I've not had the chance to unlock myself. I didn't really know how to get them or what I needed to do, but, you know, showing that you can kind of just, you know, stop a choke point or, you know, try and break an entry from that. Zero obviously working towards those score streaks as well. But it didn't seem to work out. One thing I've noticed, though, and more of kind of a question maybe Ray can answer, they're just seeing, a lot more grenades. We've seen kind of the likes of, armor. I think you were touching on there. Is there anything that you need to be rocking kind of on hardpoint to kind of stop yourself from getting grenaded so much? Because it seems like they're very powerful.
Yeah, I think most of the players actually use the armor divisions, which is something that gives you flak jacket and tac mask. So it's something that obviously helps you survive grenades and live longer on a hard point. You still eventually die them if you get hit by a couple, but it normally allows you to survive from a pretty strong blast to start with. So that's something you'll probably see like the objective style players, kind of like the means you use of back in our time, back in the days.
That's why I'm asking. I'm trying to get some hints for when I play. What do I need to use? Because I think the one person, if you want to say in the whole world, is Ray. He kind of knows everything. He knows the rotations, the spawns.
Smartest man alive, knows everything. Settle down there,
Momo. Against him online.
He actually is good at just about everything. He's good at golf, good at bowling, good at video games. Great head of hair.
Nice gassing.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, Dave.
What did Dave just
4x, 4 kills. You got the ace there.
What did Dave just do?
That'd be money in fantasy right now.
And I think that's what we've not seen in so long. We've not seen a player being able to just wipe out a team with pure kind of positioning and gun skill because of the mechanics of the game. And Dave, single-handedly there, wiping out all of Team Visca. But look how close this game is.
And not taking anything away from it. It's still really hard to get 4 kills, especially on boots. Like once you get tagged, it's really easy to lose a gunfight because you can't really just outmaneuver someone as much as you could in the past. So
no, I looked at the numbers from a tournament recently, and there was only like 4 of those total, like the 4K.
Right.
It's very, very, very rare. So Dave putting on a bit of a show, but right now watching Tommy, who's been
why is Jack
throughout.
17 and 11? What is going on here?
What I like about Jack, which you guys can't see at home, is the fact that he keeps physically moving left and right. I don't know if he's trying to dodge the bullets in real life, but he's definitely getting,
Too bad we can't do like a split cam of like
exactly.
him right now.
People kind of said this game is very, in a cliche way that you feel like you're there almost. But Jack is he's acting like he's in the battle right now.
Two-piece. I don't think he meant to get that second kill, but he did. He's like controlled by he's possessed by some newfound Jack.
He's 20 and 11 right now.
He's gonna have to brand some new stuff, I think.
It's as soon as he started heating up, the team took over. Well, I might be behind Dave's 4-piece though, probably a big part of that. But what was once a Team Visca lead is now a 60-point advantage here for Team Courage as we rotate over to the next hard point. Tommy also 5 kills in a row. Streaks out.
There, yeah. Speaking of streaks, I kind of want to come back on the Molotov as we see this glide bomb pick up 1 kill in the middle of the map. The Molotovs is something, actually watching the players play today, they're really spammy with it. They kind of toss 2 really fast. The thing with the Molotov is it does more damage when it hits first, and then it does a little bit of like consistent damage afterwards. But the next part of the damage isn't nearly strong enough to really kill someone.
Well, if you pull them out and use 1, do you have the second if you were to drop? Or if you were to die, do you get it through respawn?
You get the mollies to respawn. So I think it's really like the players will probably see as you go on, like the really strength of it. Obviously, you can get a kill with it if you throw it at a hard point, but negating area of damage for as much as you can. Like,
well, there's some spamming like you talked about. He just kind of tosses 2 over the top, tries to connect.
I think something you'll see a lot more is like in CTF or in other modes like hardpoint when they're trying to cut off a main choke point when players pushing through. You'll see him throw 1 and slow the other team down, give his teammates a chance to come through, and then throw the second one to kind of give his team an even more better chance to get properly positioned for a next oncoming push.
I was trying to watch their pushes. They were trying to rotate over the next hard point. Unfortunately for Team Courage, several dropping. Visca should be engaging here momentarily with Dave. Well, eventually you think they'll see each other. Oh, nice 2 kills there from Visca.
Was that like Visca with the 2-piece?
Well, he sees a couple more. Fwiz, he's been retired for quite some time now, but we do miss him dearly.
It's coming down the wire, man. I think Team Visca has a chance to get this. They just need to play really smart about this next rotation. The rotation on the Rune hardpoint for this map is the most important one because it gives you better positioning for the hardpoint that follows as well.
Okay.
So how, like as you see right now, Team Courage is on the right side of the map for this next hardpoint. So as Team Visca here pushes through, they need to push through this bunker side. They need to cut off that next push of spawns that you can see on the left side of the minimap and see how they can control that. Those are the big fights coming up right here.
Well, let's see. It's going to be what on?
Yeah, Tommy's in the
Courage
right position.
And Tommy.
Courage
dropped. Tommy dropped. That's giant. That's
a huge gunfight. And as now you see, as you can see, like on the top-down view, we can see how Team Visca is now spawned on the right side of the map, and they're going to be flowing through. Even though they don't have control of the hardpoint directly, they have the good spawns for this hardpoint and the falling hardpoint if they can hold on to it.
Well, here we go. They're trying to break on through. Contested right now as Tommy is still up. A 2 versus 2. Dave trying to get in from behind, but he's cleaned up by attach. Tommy somehow survived for quite a long time with the hard point now controlled by Team Visca. They've got 24 seconds
Here it
remaining
is.
here.
This is right here. Team Courage is actually trying to fight this hill straight on. As you can see, all the arrows are kind of bunched up. No matter, even if they do get the kills on this hardpoint, Team Visca is going to have the good sponsor to neck hardpoint. So they have to kind of like kill two layers of kills because they didn't push through on the map and make the correct place to break the spawns as they should.
Well, let's pan across. We'll kind of keep an eye on Team Visca. They're basically setting up a mid-map for the cutoffs. As Team Courage will try to rotate out and make a play. Courage drops. Dave tries to make a play. I'm going to go to Dave's POV real quick.
These are the huge kills happening right now as Dave is pushing for the pinch. So if his teammates can get those kills, those spawn kills in the back, then they're going to get control, and this is probably going to end the game. But if they don't, they can actually lose this.
Yeah,
oh, that was huge kills.
Yeah, this is not good.
This is not good. Visca has to clutch up here. These are the kills that we were talking about that really matter. If they get this series of kills here, they win the map. If they don't, they most likely lose.
Let's see his POV. The collapse comes in. They're able to break through. Courage and the hard point. 10 more seconds needed. And you can see spawning out right now is Team Visca. They're going to have to try and break on through. Let's take a look at it from the sky cam as they'll try to bust into the building and break into the hard point. 3 more seconds needed. Final seconds ticking away. Another victory to Team Courage. 4 straight maps.
Ouch.